We're going to tack up Lulu with an English saddle today. So we're going to start with the English pad. I'm going to place it on her slightly forward of where I ultimately want it to sit, because once I set the saddle on, we're going to slide it backwards in the direction of the hair growth. So this is a little too far forward, but that's okay. When I'm ready to put my saddle on, I'm going to lift it well above the pad so I don't knock the pad off, and set it straight down gently. And again, this saddle is way too far forward. If you look, it looks as if it's riding uphill. So we're going to slide both the saddle and the pad backwards until they level out a little bit. And that's a good position where the seat of the saddle is level. Her shoulder is in front of the saddle so it can move. And I've pulled the pad up into the gullet of the saddle so that it's not pulling tight across her withers. So the saddle's well positioned. Now I'm going to grab my girth. When it's time to put my girth on, I'm going to look and see if my girth has elastic on both ends, or sometimes you might find a girth that has elastic on only one end. If your girth only has elastic on one end, you're going to want to put that side on her left, because that's where you're going to stand when you tighten it up right before you get on. So you want the elastic on the side where it's going to help you the most. So for starters, I'm going to put my girth through this little keeper on the pad. That just keeps the pad from sliding away out from under the saddle. I'm going to lift the skirt of the saddle and find the billets. Often on an English saddle, you'll find 3 billets, but you only have 2 buckles on your girth. That's okay. Unless your instructor tells you otherwise, you're going to use the first and third billets. So the 2 outside ones, just let this middle one hang free. And I start by putting my girth on the very first hole on the left side. On the right side of the horse, I'm going to reach under and grab my girth. Again, I'm going to put it through the little keeper on my pad so my pad doesn't slide too far back. I'm going to lift the skirt and find the billets. I'm going to use the first and third billet. And on this side, I'm going to go ahead and tighten the girth as tight as I can comfortably go. I'm not trying to tighten it enough to ride, just enough to walk to the arena. So I've tightened it a little bit, but it's certainly not tight enough to ride. We'll do that on the other side when it's time to mount.